Hey guys, Preston here. I am live again. Oh, let me mute that real quick. The Steelers win, 28-24. It's fantastic. I figured I'd hop on live again. I think I like doing the post game live. It's kind of better than I like recording them and getting it out to you later. We run the North again. It's what you love to see. Just real quick, I'm gonna try to share this out a little bit, see if we can get some people in here. Do what I can, So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to hit share a couple times, and then I'm going to hop into the – sorry, guys. All right. Shared some stuff out. See if I get anyone in here. Hello, Anthony. How's it going, bro? Sucks for your Niners, but it is what it is. All right, so I'm going to do my usual post-game format I do when it's recording, except I'm going to do it live, and that way if people want to add anything in the live chat, I'll respond to any questions, comments, insults, whatever you want to do, I guess. But, well, first, let's kind of just mention this. This win solidifies the Steelers' position as the AFC North champions. We haven't done that in 2 years, so needless to say, it feels great to run the North again, and that's what you want to see. It's what Pittsburgh's, it's kind of what, as a Steelers fan, it's kind of what you've expected for a while, and obviously we've had some downtrodens. We fell apart in 2018. Had no Big Ben in 2019, so it's kind of expected we weren't going to win it. And then this year, it looked like we were falling apart again. I mean, technically, we're not out of the woodworks yet, but this win is huge. It does seem very Steelers of us, though, that we'd lose to the freaking Bengals and then beat the Colts. See, I can't even remember their name. They're that irrelevant, I guess. Good one, David. You know what? I think they actually played last night, the Lakers. It's completely unrelated to football, but yeah, I think they played last night. I don't know, though. I hate the Lakers, so it is what it is. Let's get into some stat. This is another time where Pittsburgh's had a tale of two halves. This has happened a lot. This year specifically, I didn't think, honestly, I think me and most fans were kind of just like, oh, here we go again. After that first half, we were down 17-7. No, sorry, guys, 21-7 at halftime. It was not looking pretty. It was very rough. It was reminiscent of the last couple games we've had against the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs. We didn't play the Chiefs. The Bengals. I have to remember who all he lost to in the Bills, and I mean we had that close one with the Ravens too. There's another loss in there. I've lost track. I was just disappointed in the team for a couple weeks now, but we got it done. We overcame I think we were down 17 is what they said. To overcome that deficit to get a win is huge. We outscored them 21-3 in the second half, and they outscored us 21-7 in the first half. And so that's how it ended up working in our favor. It came down to the wire again, like always. It feels like a normal Steelers game again. But you know what? We came out on the right side of this, so that's what matters. This defense clutched up when it needed to. I figured I didn't make a preview for this game, and I'm sorry about that, but I definitely would have mentioned that the Colts being without their starting offensive tackles would have been something we needed to take advantage of, and that we did. We ended up with, if I could find it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sacks on the game, including 2 from the Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt. I don't care what anyone says. That man is Defensive Player of the Year. You can't tell me otherwise. 2 sacks and a forced fumble today, just on top of this beastly year he's having in general. We'll get into some of these individual stats as I go through it, but I just want to mention this again and again, that this comeback is incredible. It's the only time in the Mike Tomlin era we've come back from a 17-point deficit. Apparently, at least that's what CBS said. Obviously, you don't want to be in a 17-point deficit, but the fight this team showed to be able to come back and really step up their performance to get this game done is huge. And I really hope this is just a momentum. See, I'm all flustered. A momentum starting thing. We get the chains rolling again. A win like that is huge. We get the North. It'll be interesting to see what we do now. I mean, I don't know if we can even move up to the second seed or not. That will probably play a role if we rest starters or not, because obviously the Chiefs clinched the first seed after the Falcons did Falcons things, dropped a pick, missed a field goal, etc. But yeah, so we can't get the first seed anyway, so we won't have that bye week. So it'll be interesting to see if they decide they'll get guys like Ben the week off next week, or if we just go in there because nothing would make me happier than if we went into Cleveland, we beat the Broncos and Broncos. Oh my God, sorry, we beat the Browns and knocked them out of the playoffs. Nothing would make me happier. Dang, Alex, I'm too broke to pay anyone to watch this video. I wish, though. It'd be nice. I had money, not pay for viewers. I want actual viewers, I'm hoping enough people like this, Come on, I'm trying here. All right, let's get now that I mentioned how impressive that comeback was and how historical it actually was, and the fact that we run the North again. It's ours. So shut up, Browns fans. Oh, we got a chance. We're coming back. Myles Garrett, you're a clown, bro. How are you going to tweet that you have a chance and then lose to the Jets? You lost to the Jets. So just hold the L, Browns fans, all right? That's all you got to do. Just take it. Accept it. Stay where you belong. I really hope you miss the playoffs. It'd be just fantastic. Although, honestly, I'd rather play Cleveland in the playoffs than Baltimore. But I don't even know how I don't know the playoff bracket. I just know we're in no matter what, and we won our division. So that's beautiful, too. So, no, we don't have to worry about falling to a wild card. We're a division winner no matter what. Alex, come on, bro. You know that's not true. The 49ers spanked you guys. 49ers better than Giants, unrelated to the Steelers, but that's just the facts. Let's see. Now, I rambled a little bit. I got a couple people in here now, I guess. I mean, most of them I know, but hey, it's what it is. This will still count for views when it becomes a video. Okay, so it's getting to the stats of this offense. Big Ben, I wish I could. It doesn't give me stats by quarter, so I can't really look fully in depth because I have to imagine the stats between the first half and second half are night and day. Man threw 49 times, which, every now and then we whine about this. Like, why is he throwing so much? But, the reality is we won. And sometimes we need Ben to throw 50 times when we win these games. Unfortunately, the run game's still really not there. But if we're throwing with success, I still think, it became even more obvious today. We moved the ball well when we just go, let Ben no huddle this crap and we move down the field. And if he can connect with these guys and we got the flow going, we got it going, and it's what we need to do the rest of the year. I think we need to run no huddle as much as humanly possible if we want to win these games. All right, so Ben ended up finishing the game after I'm pretty sure dude had he had 26 passing yards in the second quarter and some point late in the second quarter. He ended up finishing the game with 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and got sacked once. So I guess the streak without giving him up a sack ended, but hey, it went a long time. And I'm kind of surprised, honestly, the way this offensive line has performed. But hey, you know what? That's a way better game than what he's had the last couple of weeks. That's something you want to see. Obviously, Ben was struggling coming in this game. CBS Sports aired the stat. I actually saved the picture of it so I can mention it again. Coming into this game, so not counting this game, Big Ben, he was 25 touchdowns, 6 picks with the 67.5 completion percentage through the first 11 games, our 11-game win streak that we all loved and enjoyed. The last 3 games, the losses, he had 5 touchdowns, 4 picks, and a 57.8 completion percentage. Any completion percentage less than 60 is bad. That's just bad. 60 to me is the bare. It's the average. Good job. You're doing what you're supposed to. So 57's bad. And I only have one more touchdown and a pick. What are we, Daniel Jones? Come on, Ben. You're better than that. We can't play like that. We're better. He's better than that. And so today, maybe he saw the stat too because he really turned it around. That's 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. So now his last 4 games, he's got 8 touchdowns and 4 picks, which looks a little better. I do not know why Bleacher Report has failed to give me the completion percentage. I'm going to check ESPN because it might actually have it on there. Respect them. Let's see if they have it, please. I'm sorry, guys. But I don't know why on earth they wouldn't. Bleacher Report won it. Okay, yeah, there you go. Today he had a 69.4 completion percentage. That's what you want to see. That's almost 70. That's a good completion percentage, and it's actually above what he averaged the first 11 games at 67.5. So basically, Ben went beast mode in the second half, and the whole offense came with him, minus the run game and the offensive line blocking for said run game. But that's been an issue all year. I just wanted to look like we did during the 11-game win streak. I wanted stuff fixed during that win streak, like the run game. But, man, after losing 3 in a row, I just want to win again. I don't care how we do it. And if it takes us passing 50 times a game, it takes us passing 50 times a game, I will gladly take that. So big day for Ben. 109.4 passer rating at the end of the day. No picks. So very solid day. It's great to see, man. I mean, myself included, we were a lot of Steelers fans. We were starting to give Ben a lot of flack. I definitely was. I thought it looked like he was starting to lose his touch, man. I'm just being honest. Those last 3 games were kind of pitiful. He was just missing passes in that Bengals game, and I don't know if he has a hyperextended knee. They mentioned like a couple times he got it in the Washington game, and he hasn't had any medical things done with it since. I don't know if maybe like I said, if we clinch the division and we can't move up a seed or something, maybe they rest him and get that knee done. Wait, Alex, fill me in. Is it the Giants or the Niners about to lose 4 games in a row? We didn't, we stopped it. We beat the Colts. Giants could not stand a chance against the Colts, bro. You had one job. You should have beat Baltimore. We beat them twice. You guys got wrecked by them. I mean, come on, Alex. I was hoping you would beat. I was actually rooting for the Giants this time. But all right, now to the run game, which is still an issue. I've mentioned this 1,000 times already. It's been an issue. It continues to be an issue. James Conner, 5 attempts for 20 yards and a touchdown. I mean, yay, that touchdown. 5 for 20s, not good. 1 for 2 for Deontay Johnson, not good. That saw okay. Benny Snell, if this is Bleacher Report's right, 6 carries for just no yards. So I guess he had a longer 2, so his positive gains and negative gains equaled out to 0 yards on 6 carries. That's crazy. That's rough. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did fall asleep for a second in this game. I missed us getting stuffed on 4th down at the goal line. That probably would have drove me up a wall. So maybe it's a good thing I missed it for my personal health. But from what I heard, Benny Snell got the rock that play instead of Connor, and that's just curious coaching, if you ask me. But hey, you know what? We won the game. We won the game. It is what it is, right? I'm just happy to win again. I haven't been able to enjoy a Sunday in a month, man. A month. It's a good way to cap off 2020, I guess, because everyone loves this year. It's a great year. And then Big Ben, you don't count his rushing yards. I'm guessing that's just a sack. It says 2 attempts for -2 yards. But we all know Big Ben ain't scrambling, so he wasn't trying to run anywhere. Receiving wise, Juju must have heard the critics. Maybe he shut him up. I don't know. He didn't make a TikTok on the logo today, so maybe they'll all calm their tits and realize he had a good game. 9 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown. Great day by Juju. No, they didn't. Oh man, Benny Snell. Yeah, Benny. Okay, so brother said Benny Snell's a downhill bruiser. Yeah, with Gio, I don't get that, man. Like, I kind of agree with you. I'm guessing you're disagreeing with that statement. I do too. I like Benny, but at the end of the day, man, when your best running back's healthy again, but none of them are super impressive. But James Conner today clearly was outperforming Benny Snell, and the fact you went with Snell on that play just makes no sense to me, man. You put it in your best back's hand if you decide to run that play. You never know. They do some weird stuff, man. Who knows? If Anthony McFarland's healthy, maybe they would have tried running him up the gut like 5 times again. That's something they continue to. The run game's such a mess, man. They don't even use the running backs right either. I swear. McFarland's our speed back, and I've seen him run up the middle more times than Connor has. It doesn't make sense to me at all. He was out today with an injury. From what I saw, I believe we ended the game relatively healthy. I think maybe Deontay Johnson got shooken up. If he can't play next week, that'd be really unfortunate. He had a really good game again today. I don't remember drops, but there is more targets listed than catches for these guys, but obviously that makes sense. I just need to know how many times Big Ben just missed these guys, and that counts as just targets instead of them dropping the ball. I know Juju had at least 1 drop. You don't want to see that. Yeah. Yeah, see, their priorities all out of whack, man. If you run Benny at all, you definitely run him up the middle, not on a must needed, you need it done 4th and goal. When you have Connor, you run him on the important plays. But Benny is definitely more of an inside guy, and McFarland definitely should stick to the outside. But our offense, maybe they're just desperate for a run game to work. They're just going to try anything, man. Who knows? What's next? They're going to have Derek Watts healthy again. They're going to have him run some halfback pitches or something. Who knows? All right. Deontay, like I mentioned, 8 receptions, 75 yards, and a touchdown. You love to see it. That's another great play. It looks like there was no fumbles, according to Bleacher Report. I may have heard otherwise from one other person. Someone would have to let me know about that. Okay, so Claypool had a drop. That's unfortunate. Um, yeah, me personally, like I said, I didn't witness as many drops. I know that's at least two now confirmed for me because the Claypool one I missed, but I saw the Juju one in the end zone, and that's something you don't want to see ever. Um, but from what I can tell, at least from everything I've seen, Twitter, Facebook groups, all that stuff, I didn't see many people talking about drops this game. So if there was some, there wasn't as many, or they weren't as brutal as before. So I'm going to call it progress. I mean, we got the win, and it didn't seem like we had 15 drops today. You gotta let me know. Did Ebron drop one? I thought Ebron had a pretty decent game again. It was nice to see Deontay and Ebron. It looks like they're finally kind of figuring out again because they were really good for us for a while, and then in this losing streak, they had brick hands and they were dropping everything. Ebron had some good plays. Johnson had some good plays. That deep bomb touchdown. I mean, right? Ben kind of overthrew it, which I mean, hey, if he's got the power to overthrow it, I kind of like that. But you know what? Deontay dove for it, got it done, got a huge touchdown there. That's what you love to see. Deontay really is, to me, he is our most talented receiver. He's just got to put it all together, man. That dude can route run and get separation like none other. But he just sometimes he drops the ball. Literally, he just drops the ball, and it's um, if he can ever clean that, if he can fully clean that up, that dude's special, man. He can be one of the top wide receivers in the league. That's what I'm saying. The second half was night and day. That's what I mentioned when I started this thing. If we play like the second half this game, the rest of the year, we will be just fine. Like this is a tale of two halves again. This is kind of like the Titans game where we were awesome the first half, bad the second half, but we reversed it this time, for more stress, I guess. But yeah, you like seeing it. I mean, that second half has really showed you what we need to do with this team. It might be just we need to face the fact that we're not going to get the run game going this year, and we need to hound in on this pass game. And when we can get these short passes going, and when we're in the zone, I just run that no huddle, man, and let Ben do his thing. Let these receivers do their thing. They're looking like they're finding themselves again, and that's what you want to see from this team, and it's kind of what we need to see and continue to deal with. All right, so Claypool finally got targets, and maybe that's part of our win. I know the drop was mentioned, which is really unfortunate, but I think we were underutilizing Claypool recently. And during this losing streak, the dude's name was like never on the stat sheet. So he showed up. They got him time this time. They let him play. 4 receptions for 54 yards. He actually averaged 13.5 yards per catch, which means we were throwing the ball deeper. I mean, I don't know what happened. The deep ball was working more today. Obviously, a lot of these routes were still short, but I mean, we had three guys whose average catch was above 10 or right at 10 for James Washington. Obviously, some of that's yak yards after catch, especially for Deontay, who managed to get 9.4 average, even with most of his routes being short ones. But obviously, that 39-yard touchdown catch is in there too. Let's see. So Claypool had 4 receptions, 54 yards, no touchdowns, but hey, I mean, everyone, like I said, in this offense, everyone eats, man. We spread the ball out. I like it that way. I know it leads to some people getting more criticized than others. Like, Juju won't have 1,000 yards this year. I feel like he's not worth it. But to me, it's this unit working together is the reason that they all have their days, man. They all have a day like Juju did with 96 yards and a touchdown, and they rotate. I mean, today Juju and Deontay both went off 75 plus yards, touchdown each. It's what you want to see. It's a great thing. Ebron, like I mentioned, had a pretty good game. 5 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown. No notable drops that I could think of. It's what you want to see. So good job, Ebron. Good to see you back and healthy. You got the Bengals broke that dude's back with a crazy hit. I hate the Bengals. They're dirty, man. But hey, it's whatever. We'll get them back. We beat them like 13 times in a row until last week. I wonder if they'll let us live it down. Maybe they'll be like the Browns last year. I don't know if you guys remember this. The Browns beat us last year in that game when Rudolph got hit in the head with the helmet, and those chumps acted like they won the Super Bowl, man, the rest of the year. Then we shut them up when Duck Hodges and James Washington sunned them, and we beat them the second time, and then they didn't even make the playoffs. So, needless to say, nothing would make me happier if we went all out against the Browns next week and knocked them, found a way to get them completely out of the playoffs. It'd just be beautiful, man. I think that's poetry right there. Poetic justice. Nothing would make me happier. But anyways, James Conner, actually, this was something kind of a new element to the game this year. To this game from this year. We haven't done this much this season. The running back pass was effective. We dumped off the James Conner 5 times. He caught all of them and managed to get 45 yards off of them. Okay, sorry, this isn't football related, but apparently the Clippers in basketball are trailing the Mavericks by 50 points at halftime. Um, I didn't think that was possible. That's a little crazy. Clippers, get your crap together. Regardless, let's continue with football. So, like I said, that running back pass was effective. They utilized it. I like seeing that because it just means Ben doesn't have to make a huge play every time. You know what I mean? Quit. Sometimes you need to just accept you can't get the ball down the field and don't overthrow or just throw out of bounds and waste it down. You can check down the Connor, and today he proved he can make stuff happen. He averaged 9 yards per catch and he caught all 5 balls that were thrown his way, so it's not like he was dropping these little out routes. James Washington had 2 catches for 20 yards, not bad. And Vance had a catch. Yay, Vance. 1 catch, 5 yards. He obviously doesn't get as many receiving reps as he used to, being, kind of relegated to a backup role. He blocks more now than he used to. So now, let's see. Punt returning, nothing really happened. Ray McLeod's kind of cooled down dramatically. 13 yards on 2 punt returns, average 6.5. Not really sure what happened there, but hey, it's kind of a typical Steelers year. We never really had good punt return or kick return games until this year during that 11-game streak. But we didn't kill ourselves with bad plays like that. So he didn't fumble or anything this time. So that's progress, if you ask me. Now let's get to the defense here. Avery Williamson had 14 tackles today, led the team by far, almost doubled the second-best tackle numbers at 8 for Minka. 9 solo, 2 TFLs and a sack, so I like that part. His run defense and pass rush are still effective, and I like that part of his game. But, man, he is still he's looking like a liability in coverage. He definitely made me miss Robert Spillane today. It seemed like that final drive when we had to stop the Colts one more time, they really dumped down to their running back a lot, and it was Williamson's job to chase him down, and it didn't really go well the whole time. So, yeah, sorry, guys. Got distracted. But, yeah, I like Williamson. Obviously, getting that trade is looking bigger and bigger for us because all the injuries we continue to sustain in the middle linebacker room. Spillane's still out. UG3 got put back on the injured reserve, and Marcus Allen was out after that hit from last week. So hopefully, we got Vince back, which is huge. He ended up with 5 tackles on the day. Just no other stats, but 5 tackles, not bad. Obviously, he's working his way back in from COVID, so it might take him a little bit to get back to his old form. But it looks like we'll have Spillane back in time for the playoffs, and hopefully Allen only misses like this week. I don't know how long UG3 will be out. It looks unfortunate. The man has potential being a late round pick, but his only 2 seasons in the league, he's been on IR due to back issues. So who knows if that forces him into an early retirement or anything like that. All right. So, yeah, the defense is finally – that's another part of this game is that the team's starting to get healthier again. I think Kevin – I should have paid more attention to the offensive line, but I believe Kevin Dodson was eligible to play today. You guys will have to let me know. Sorry, guys. I got interrupted for a second. I had to mute. Hopefully it worked and you didn't hear me yelling about garlic bread pizza. But yeah. So like I was saying, the team's starting to get healthier. It looked like we had Kevin Dotson back. I should have paid more attention to offensive line. I'm sorry. I don't know if they fully started or not. They still didn't have a great game, but just getting healthier in general is what you want to see from a team like this. Yeah, I'd say the O-line was better than it was. Obviously, they should have never been dominated by the Bengals defensive line. That's something you definitely don't want to see. That's when you could really tell that, it was like Derwin Gray and J.C. Hassenauer filling in for Dotson and Filer, and it just looked rough. So we're definitely better than last week, but obviously to me, this whole year, the offensive line can improve and continue to improve. Big Al, Alejandro Villanueva at left tackle is looking more and more concerning by the week, unfortunately. He is a free agent after this season, though, so I think it might be time for us to move on and draft or sign a left tackle in free agency unless we believe we can – we still have Zach Banner who got hurt week 1, and we got Chucks. So maybe if they believe one of them can play left and the other can play right, they can do that. But I'd look for us to move on from Al I mean, I love his story and I respect all he's done for the team, but it's just time. This offensive line is getting older and older, and it's time we start investing more and more draft capital into it. Kevin Dotson is a great start, and Chucks is good too. So you have two young guys you can build off of as we look to retool this offensive line in the future. Back to the defense. Minka had a pretty good day. 8 tackles, 6 of them solo, and a pass deflection. He almost had an interception that final drive, but it just, didn't happen. He also had a ball bat off his helmet, but he did his job. Some games he's a little quieter than others, and some games he'll get 2 picks, like against Jacksonville. Hopefully, he can make some more splash plays again. The splash plays are what happened today that this defense has been lacking. During our losing streak, the defense still looked decent, and a lot of it I put on the offense because I'm like, yeah, the offense. When your offense goes 3 and out every single time, your defense is going to get gassed by the end of the game, and it's just not going to go as well as you'd want it to. So I kind of wrote them off, gave them a little bit of a break. But the reality is they were also, last year we won games because of our defense got the splash plays, the picks, the fumbles, the big sacks. We were lacking in that department for the last couple of games, and it finally came back to us this game. Forced fumble by TJ, interception by Hilton. So 2 turnovers forced by this defense, which is what you want to see. And honestly, it's what we might need to do to win some games. It might be a little bit like last year. This offense continues to start slow each game, and you might need this defense to get some good turnovers for us. And 5 sacks, like I mentioned, man. We abused this beat up Colts offensive line, which is what we should have done. We're a good enough defensive front. We probably could have got some sacks, and even with a fully healthy Colts line. But the fact they were injured meant we had no excuses, and we really needed to get after Phillip Rivers, and we did that. So real quick, Williamson had a sack. Big Cam Hayward, who got named to another Pro Bowl. Congrats, Cam. Had a sack along with his 5 tackles in the TFL. TJ Watt had 2 sacks, and Stephon Tuitt had a sack. Good to see Tuitt get back on the stat sheet. Tuitt was having a monster year again to start off the season. They all got a little bit cold, like I said, the last couple of weeks. You're getting like a sack or 2 at most, that's good for most teams. But when we know what this Steelers defensive front can do, I was kind of hoping for more some of these games, especially against the Bengals who have no offensive line. But it is what it is. Hilton had the pick, so shout out to Hilton. Hilton had a day again, man. Made a great play in coverage against, I think it was T.Y. Hill, and he didn't turn his head around, which is unfortunate, but he got in there and broke the pass up on what would have been a huge gain for the Colts. So shout out to Hilton. Picking a defensive player of the game is tough. Alex Highsmith had 7 tackles. Dude's been so close to getting sacks, man. I swear, yeah, he's got 2 left feet or something because he gets close to the quarterback and then he falls. I've seen this dude crawl after the quarterback like 1,000 times. He gets so close, and he's gonna get some of these eventually, man. But even if he's not, just generating that pressure means that the quarterback is forced to move and it can get closer to our other guys up front. I think Highsmith is going to continue to improve as we go on, and I like the potential he's flashed for us. That's something to continue to keep an eye on because obviously it's likely that Bud Dupree is gone in the offseason. Obviously, he tore his ACL this year. Unfortunately, that means we lost him for the year, but he is also a free agent when this year ends. So he is likely gone due to our cap situation, which is garbage. Yeah. So Highsmith. Nelson had 6 tackles. He did get that PI to end on that final drive that had, extended the drive and got all of us fans even more nervous. I like to think they did it on purpose for the theatricality of it. They love making us super nervous, like during that 11-game win streak where we have 2 games, the Ravens and Cowboys that came down to the literal last pass into the end zone that we had to break up. Wasn't quite as bad this time. We stopped them before that, but it was feeling close again. That was an interesting PI call too, man. I feel like T.Y. Hilton grabbing his face mask, I feel like it should have been offsetting penalties, but I guess it wasn't. So whatever. Overall, I thought they had a decent day. I did think the secondary looked rough, especially in the first half. The first half, they kept getting picked apart. I felt like we were running a lot of zone, and the Colts just knew where to go. But we were hell-bent on continuing to run the zone, so we did. But at the end of the day, only 270 pass yards. Not great, but not horrible. I mean, anytime, I think in a modern-day NFL, keeping a team under 300 pass yards is pretty good. They failed to have a 100-yard rusher, again, which is something I think our defense prides itself on, but they had over 100 total yards rushing with 74 from Taylor, who just dominated us to start the game. Dude, one of his touchdown runs, he ran over 3 guys to get into the end zone. That's not what you want to see. But he ended up with 74 yards and 2 touchdowns. Naheem Hines had 8 attempts for 44 yards, and then other than that, it was kind of nothing. Receiving wise, also no one over 64 yards, so we didn't really get burnt big by one particular person. It's just the Colts had a good game plan and they took advantage of it the first half, and we actually made adjustments and played better in the second half. You love to see it. We showed that a little bit last week. We played better against the Bengals. There was some hope going around like, hey, we got this. We got to come back. But then we failed on 3rd and 1, and then the defense gave up a back-breaking, like, they let freaking Ryan Finley run all over us. The quarterback ran all over us to end that game. But hey, we're past that. We won. We won the day against a better team. Very Steelers, right? Lose to the Bengals, beat the Colts. The world's upside down. But you know what? We won. We clinched the North, and it gives us some positive momentum going into the playoffs. When for a lot of us, it was looking really, really bleak for this team heading into this game, and even at halftime of this game, we're like, oh no, is this really? We're gonna be on a 5-game, like a 4 or 5-game losing streak heading into the playoffs. Just getting any win, just to snap that kind of losing streak, get some momentum on our side. It makes me feel a little better than I did before about coming into this playoffs this year. Let's see. Back to us. Chris Boswell was out again. I'm really not. It's his hip or something. It continues to nag him, unfortunately. Wright did not kick a field goal this game. I don't know if there was any times we were close enough to try it and didn't. But he did make all the extra points. That's something, Boz has struggled with sometimes. But shout out Wright. Matthew Wright's doing his job when he's called upon, getting stuff done for us. You love to see it. Let's see. Already mentioned the punt returns. Nothing much. Defense, I went through basically everyone. Alu had 3 tackles at TFL. TJ Watt. Okay, TJ Watt's my defensive player of the game. I don't know why I said it was hard. Dude had 3 tackles at TFL, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble. That forced fumble was recovered by Mike Hilton, who would be like my or runner-up defensive player of the game because he recovered that fumble, took us to the 5-yard line, which gave our offense that touchdown in the first, which ended up being really important on our way to come back from down 17. And he had the interception, too. That was actually generated by an Alex Highsmith pressure, who, like I mentioned, has been so close to getting sacks every time. Yeah, man. Teams get cocky, bro. It's what it is. And you know what it is? No one's going to talk about the Colts doing that. But if Juju danced at all today, they're going to give him hell for it. It just is what it is, man. People hate us. Love to hate us. You know? We won, though. That's all that matters. We win. We get it done. That's what matters, Teams always, we're a top. I consider us, it's cocky, right? But the Steelers are generally considered one of the top dogs in the NFL. So teams are pretty motivated when they play us. And when you can get a win against us, obviously they're happy, man. So Colts had their fun in the first half, but we shut them up. We locked them down. Honestly, though, low key, we've had the Colts number the last few years, knock on wood. But I mean, last year, even with our messed up offense, we yeah, I don't get it, man. The refs helped the Colts out that final drive. They gave the PI on Nelson. It never makes sense, man. Because the refs can literally help. They bailed, remember they bailed the Washington out. They bailed the football team out when they let Alex Highsmith take the ball away, give him extra time to make that field goal. Stuff like that happens. But you know what? Refs are bad in general. And honestly, the truth is the Colts had a 17-point lead and they blew it. So I'm not going to hear anything from their fans or anyone else who wants to say, oh, the refs did it. Oh, yeah, the refs handed us that many points. The refs let us outscore you guys 21-3 in the second half. I don't think so. You just got to take it in stride, man. Twitter is a fun place. It's a great way to get angry. So, want some fun? Maybe get some trolling done. Who knows? Let's see. So my defensive player of the game is TJ Watt by far. 2 sacks, forced fumble. He's defensive player of the year. I don't care what anyone says. If that dude does not win defensive player of the year this year, it is highway robbery. Dude, he should have won it last year, and he's having a better season this year than he did last year. He already has more sacks this year than he did last year, and he's still got a game left to add some more on. He's just a beast, man. He's our future. The fact that we got him at 30th overall in 2017 is still amazing. I love to see it. Poor Cowboys fans had drafted Taco Charlton over TJ Watt. So, love to see it. In the draft picks from this year, doing very well, too. I think this draft class from 2020, 2019 ended up super underrated. Claypool's contributed when we give him the minutes. Highsmith now is fully contributing. Like I said, getting a lot of pressure. The sack numbers aren't there yet. He's getting so close, but he's getting a lot of pressure. Kevin Dotson might be our best offensive lineman when he's healthy and gets to play. And Brooks has had some minutes, so not bad, and McFarland's had some minutes. But those three guys, those main three, fantastic. I mean, really good value picks, second, third, fourth rounder. I mean, it's awesome. Shout out Kevin Dotson, bro. This guy seems like a cool dude. Love to interview him or something. And then, Tua had a pretty solid day, too. Had a sack, had a pass deflection, 2 tackles, a TFL. And then Carlos Davis had some playing time, 2 tackles. Hayden, 2 tackles. Sutton, a tackle. Looking at some stats here, the Colts actually ended up with more total yards than us, which kind of makes sense. They were just driving on us in that first half, and we basically gained no yards in the first half. But the fact that we even made it close at the end, having 353 yards, they're 365, when I feel like I'm almost certain we finished with less than 50 yards in the first half, is really impressive and shows how much effort this team put in to get the job done and win. The rushing yards were not close. We had 20 rushing yards, man. That still needs fixed bad. But if we win, I'm fine with it. Okay, so I got a question just because when this is posted again, you won't see my live chat, the people watching this, after the fact. So the question was, do the Steelers re-sign Hilton? Honestly, that's a really tough one because it looks like it might come down to they have to pick between Mike Hilton and Cam Sutton. And there's pros and cons for both guys. I mean, to me, Sutton is the better guy in pass coverage. He just is. He's really versatile. He's a young player, just in 2017. Obviously, he's taller, which I don't, height isn't everything, but sometimes it does help. 5'11", 25 years old. Let me find out Mike Hilton's age real quick because that might play a factor too, honestly. 5'9", 26. So they're both incredibly young. That's where it gets really hard. In a perfect world, we'd re-sign both. I feel like if the Steelers did have to choose, though, they'd probably lean Hilton just based off the amount of playing time they both get right now. They give more to Hilton. But if they could re-sign both, I really hope they do. I'd love if they did it. But it's going to take some expert cap management, which, I think we've proven we can do in the past. Big Ben, we got to restructure that dude. If he comes back next year, which if he plays like he did in the second half, okay, he can come back another year. But no way we can afford to pay him $41 million. That cap hit is way too high. Just can't have it. And then, let's see. Back to this game. My offensive player of the game, I'm going to give it to Big Ben because just the grit he overshowed. They all had a bad first half, but he had a really, really good second half. So shout out Big Ben, man. I'm sorry. I was kind of down you the last couple of games. You proved me wrong in the second half. Please continue to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong all the way to the Super Bowl. Man, get a dub, be the Super Bowl MVP. Nothing I would love more. We won the turnover battle with 2 and got 5 sacks. So that's obviously, like I said, that's what was one of the big differences in this game is the defense got some turnovers, those impact plays that we all needed to see. And 333 passing yards is amazing, too. It's kind of what we've expected from this team during that 11-game win streak, but the fact that we were actually able to do it again is huge. So, yeah, guys, there you kind of have it. My offensive player of the game is Big Ben. My defensive player of the game is TJ Watt. Huge shout out. This team fought their butts off to come back down like 17 plus. A lot of grit from this team today. It's what you wanted to see. There's a lot of doubts. We're like, man, what's going on? Is this team giving up? They clocked out already. They're falling apart. And, it finally came through. They showed heart, and they got it done. So, shout out Steelers. Here we go. Let's go, baby. Stairway to 7, right? Snap the streak. We run the North again, so suck it. Ratbirds, Bumgles, and Clowns fans. And, all right, I'll stick around. I can make it to 40 minutes and just if anyone has questions at all or just wants to talk anything Steelers, like any more re-sign questions or anything, something about the coordinator stuff, etc., I'm more than willing to talk about it. I'll just hang out for an extra minute or two in case anyone wants to because I love talking Steelers football. That's why I do these. So if I can get more engagement with the chat, I will gladly do it. If not, that's fine too. Just please like the stream if you've popped in at all. It'd mean a lot. It helps more people end up finding this video later on too. So I'd really, really appreciate it if you could just take the time to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet, I do live reactions or at least recorded ones to almost every Steelers game. I also do a lot of pre-game stuff, previews for these games as well. So if you want to check those out, I have playlists for those. You can also just subscribe and you can see them from here on out too, because I'll definitely do playoff previews and stuff, and hopefully I get to make a couple of those, a lot of them. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, thank you guys again. By the way, I'm not rocking the jersey today. I apologize. It's got a white shirt. I did put a Watt jersey up in the background, which conveniently is my defensive player of the game. I should have put the Ben one out. I don't know if you can see it next to the green Notre Dame one, but I got a Ben color rush in there. I got a lot of jerseys, man. I like collecting those. Okay, here we go. We got a question. Yeah, well, not more of a statement. If Ben, if he keeps playing good, can stay next year, but we need to not restructure his contract too long. I personally, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because something I should probably mention. Usually, these restructurings come with the fact you have to extend that contract by a little bit. That's where it gets a little complicated with Ben. I don't know how exactly it works. I wish maybe if there's a way you could literally just turn the 1 year contract and just make more of it a signing bonus. But I'm not a cap expert. That's people get paid for that. If we can do it that way, it'd be fantastic. But yeah, I do agree with you. We definitely shouldn't like spread it out to 2 or 3 years just to get some of the cap hit off. If we have to deal with 1 year of 40 mil, we got to deal with 1 year of 40 mil. But we definitely need to look to the future of quarterback. Possibly even this year. This seems like a pretty good draft for quarterback. And if we can find a decent one late in the first round, which is, I mean, hopefully we pick at 32, right? But if we can find one, I hope we really draft them and pull the trigger this time. Ben's given this team a lot, man. He's played 18 years, but we're reaching a new chapter of Steelers football. We're gonna have to move on from him soon. I just hope we can get one more for him, this year. Two more for him. Let's get two more for him this year and next year. That's the attitude you got to have. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate anyone who came into the video. Even if you didn't comment, that's fine. But I encourage any of you to comment if you ever want to. I've responded to all of them, really. So, shout out to the people. Since there's only like 4 people that commented, I'll shout them all out real quick. So, Baloney AV, David Rivera, Alex Rangel, and Gaming with Geo, who sent lots of comments and helped me make this stream more enjoyable. I like the discussions. Yeah, man. Hey, you too, Geo. So once again, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. Just please make sure to like this stream. It'll be uploaded again after the fact if you want to share this with any of your friends or any fellow Steelers fans that I meet a lot too. If you can hit the bell to make sure you don't miss any of these live streams or my regular videos. Once again, as mentioned, I do lots of sports content, a lot specifically for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm also looking to expand a little bit. I'll probably make some Indiana Pacers and Pittsburgh Penguins videos, but I also start to look into, more just wide coverage of sports in general as we continue on. But either way, thanks again, guys. Sorry I'm rambling. I ramble a lot when I end my videos. It's something you'll come to realize. But anyways, thanks, guys. See, I've done it 5 times now. I've done my outro 18 times. All right, so now it's the final one. This is my final anyways. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click the bell for the notifications. You can find all my playlists too, like I mentioned. Stuff like that will continue on. Stay tuned. I'll actually do a preview video for the Browns one, and I'll have a live post game just like this one when that Browns game ends. And hopefully we get to knock Cleveland out of the playoff, guys. All right, so see you guys next week. This is KMA Preston signing out. See you later.